Hey guys, today's video is on how to foot brake. I'll also be talking about why some people can't foot brake, and then I'll be giving them tips on things they can work on so that they can foot brake eventually. So if you're interested in any of those things, check out the video. Okay, so let's talk about how to foot brake. So from a good standing position, and you know what a good standing position is if you watched one of my last videos, I'll link it here for you guys. Typically going to have your leg like this. So just like pushing, you're going to want to shift your foot to the center line, and on the center line you're going to have the best balancing possible. The body is just going to want to go straight, and it's not really going to give you issues like wanting to turn left or right when you're trying to foot brake. So you're going to want to focus all your weight on this front foot as you take your back foot off, and as you take your back foot off, you're going to want to bring it down parallel to your front foot, and you're going to want to start to gently lower your back foot. And the easiest way to do this as well is by slightly bending your front foot as well. So with your toes pointing straight at an angle and straight ahead, you want to touch the ground with your heels first, and then you want to apply pressure. Now, a key point, you want to apply pressure and push into the ground. You don't want to put your weight on your foot braking foot, because if you put your weight, your foot can suddenly catch on the ground and this can make you fall. So keep that in mind. You're applying pressure, not putting your weight. The way you apply pressure, the way I imagine it sometimes, is pushing into the ground with my heel. And once you're done, lift up your back foot, and you still want to have your legs pointing forward, or rather pointing at an angle sort of upwards, and then you put them back on board. And then remember, you're going to have your front foot like this. You're going to want to gently shift some weight to your back foot as you pivot your front foot into a good standing position again. Next, we're going to be talking about why some people might have issues with foot braking and some things we can do about that. So the first thing is, I see a lot of people don't have a lot of strength in the front leg, or rather the non-foot braking leg. And the issue with this is that because they have no strength in the other leg, they find it very difficult to bring the other leg down and hover it over the ground. And because they have no strength in this leg, it's so hard for them to do it. So what we're going to do to improve that is by strengthening that leg. It doesn't take a lot of work actually, and it's quite easy to do over a couple of days. And also, as you strengthen that leg, you're also going to improve the balance and your ability to balance balance on one leg. So yeah, the next thing that gives people a lot of issue with foot braking is bad foot positioning. So I did say you're going to want to have your foot directly over the center line. Having it here gives you the best control and allows the board to keep going straight ahead. If you have it either here or here, the board is naturally going to want to lean left or veer right. So yeah, you're going to want to have it straight here, and if you put it here, the board is just going to give you a lot of issues. Sometimes it'll get away or react on its own. So typically just having your leg like this directly over the center line is going to give you the best balancing for foot braking. The next thing that gives people issue is an awkward body positioning resulting from awkward foot positioning. So if you have your foot position like this, your toes are naturally pointing this way, and as a result your shoulders want to also point where your toes are pointing. This is going to mean you're pointing like your shoulders perpendicular to the center line or to the direction of the board, and when you try to foot brake, it's just going to be very awkward. It's not going to feel very natural. It's going to be very difficult. However, if you have your toes pointed straight ahead, your shoulders are also pointed straight ahead, and it's going to be very easy for you to foot brake in this position. So yeah, it's imperative you have your toes pointed straight ahead and your foot over the center line. It's really gonna make life a lot easier for you guys. Okay, so finally now we've gotten to the tips on the things that you're going to do to allow you to be able to foot brake. So the first thing we're going to do is do 1 or 2 things to build strength in your non-pushing leg, and this is going to solve the foot braking issue for a lot of people. So the first thing is going to be a small workout. It's very easy. You can do it within 3 to 5 minutes. So you're going to stand on a raised platform and lower your foot braking leg down and keep your feet flat and hover it slightly above the ground, like a couple centimeters above the ground, not actually touching the ground, and hold it there for about 5 to 10 seconds. You repeat this 5 times, at least once a day, and you should naturally build strength in the other leg. And within about 1 to 2 weeks, you should be able to foot brake. So do it for a couple days, maybe 5 days a week, and do it over 2 weeks, and you should be able to foot brake after that. But after that, if your balancing is still an issue, you can work at it by standing on your board stationary and just literally doing the same exercise, lowering your foot down, hovering it just a couple centimeters off the ground and holding it there. If that's too easy for you, then hold it for about like 30 seconds. And yeah, doing these things is going to allow you to foot brake. I promise, I guarantee it. And if you do try any of these things, if you do try it and it has a positive result for you, also a negative result, please let me know in the comments. Just really interested to see how this plays out for a lot of you guys. Okay, so it's now time for some random tips for you guys. The first one is invest in brake soles. So brake soles are essentially rubber sheets that you just stick onto your shoe. I've had these shoes for about a year now and they're barely worn down. The only reason that I haven't yet replaced this brake sole, and you can't replace it, you just sort of super glue another rubber sheet, cut it out to the outline of your shoe, and boom. The reason I haven't replaced this yet is because I want to work through this shoe. I've had it for about a year and I'm just trying to wear down on it and get as much life out of it. But yeah, brake soles make your shoes last really long. I've had these shoes for a year. Otherwise, these shoes without brake soles would have lasted me like 3 months, which is no time at all. So yeah, these ones are from a brand called Footbrake, and what they do, they cut up motorcycle tires and just sell you brake soles for about like $20 each. And yeah, they last really long and increase the life of your shoe. Highly recommend for any skater out there. I also recommend you get brake soles for both shoes. Both shoes are going to last longer. But also if you have brake soles on only one shoe, it's going to be a little bit uneven. It's going to be taller than the other one, and that's going to be a bit awkward to walk around on. So yeah, having brake soles for both shoes is the way to go. So if you guys find that useful, let me know in the comments. The other tip I have for you guys is foot braking is good, and once you learn it, it's a very reliable way to control your speed, but it's not the most reliable for higher speeds. So don't go down a big hill for the first time expecting foot braking to save you at the bottom. After 25 miles per hour, foot braking is very scary. It requires a lot of skill and balance. So yeah, don't expect it to save you as your board starts to pick up a lot of speed. You know, always sort of keep your speed in check and don't go too fast. And yeah, if you do want to go really fast and you do want to skate fast, I highly recommend you look into downhill skateboarding, look at some of the techniques they use, some of the gear they use, and yeah, you'll be able to skate really fast and come to a stop reliably. And yeah, that's it for the video today. Thanks for watching. Big thanks to my patrons as well. Big thanks to the subscribers. And if you found this video useful, please leave a comment, like, share it with your friends, whatever it is that you want to do. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.